This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Armenia's parliament has approved a measure to provide army evaders with options to serve in the military or pay a fee as alternatives to imprisonment. The bill, which had been put forward by the ruling Civil Contract Party and was approved today 61-27, allows evaders over the age of 27 to choose set combinations of serving between 0 to 2 years in the army and paying between $0 and $37,000 in order to avoid prison. Before this latest measure was approved, military evaders above the age of 27 faced up to 5 years in prison for failing to serve. All Armenian male citizens aged 18 to 27 are required to serve in the army for 2 years. This marks the latest change in Armenia's mandatory military service program. Prior proposals by the government to allow 18 to 27-year-old men to pay to avoid service entirely have been scrapped after widespread outcry. The issue of women serving in the army has long been the source of heated debate as well. In more military news, a new shipment of Russian weapons has already arrived in Armenia, an Armenian lawmaker from Civil Contract told Radio Azatutyun today. Vagif Khachatryan, who sits on Parliament's Defense and Security Committee, did not provide any further details. Late last week, Vagif Khachatryan, another Civil Contract lawmaker and the chair of the Defense Committee, told public television Armenia is partially receiving the arms it ordered from Russia, adding, "They're supplying some weapons but not the amount we expect in terms of the amount we signed a contract for, but this will be settled over time." Khachatryan also declined to provide any additional information. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan made headlines last year when he claimed Armenia had bought hundreds of millions of dollars of weapons from an unnamed allied country widely understood to be Russia that were never delivered. Pashinyan and other senior officials have repeatedly raised the issue in recent months. Meanwhile, a European Union spokesperson has warned of severe consequences if Azerbaijan invades Armenia. Less than a week after Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev claimed large swaths of Armenia, including the capital of Yerevan, had been handed over to Armenia from Azerbaijan last century. The EU has been using every opportunity to pass clear messages to Azerbaijan that any violation of Armenia's territorial integrity would be unacceptable and will have severe consequences for our relations, Peter Stano told the Armenpress news agency today, without elaborating. Over the weekend, Pashinyan termed Aliyev's remarks a serious blow to the peace process and voiced widespread fears in Armenia that Azerbaijan may be preparing to invade the country after seizing Nagorno-Karabakh last September. In other news, an appeals court in Azerbaijan has upheld the 15-year prison sentence handed down last November to an Armenian man from Nagorno-Karabakh who was detained 5 months earlier during an attempted medical evacuation to Armenia. Vagif Khachatryan's appeal against his war crimes conviction was formally dismissed yesterday, leaving the 68-year-old with no other legal avenues to challenge his prison term. He had repeatedly denied the charges against him during his initial trial, which the Armenian government decried as a sham. Khachatryan was first detained by Azerbaijani border guards last July as he tried to leave Nagorno-Karabakh, then under a near-total Azerbaijani blockade, to receive medical treatment in Armenia on a convoy belonging to the International Committee of the Red Cross. He is one of several dozen Armenians currently held in Azerbaijan, including 8 former senior Nagorno-Karabakh officials who were arrested during last September's mass exodus from the region. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 314. That's the number of hectares of forests planted by the Armenian government last year, according to Environment Minister Hakub Simidyan, who announced the figure yesterday. That's equal to about 588 American football fields worth of forests. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.